Hello again, Brendan here, aka Cliff Jumper, and continuing on the Corrado project. Today we are going to figure out where our coolant leak is coming from. We discovered a coolant leak, and we're going to figure it out.
Previously on Battlestar Galactica.
What did I do? You killed the car.
We have to deal with the coolant leak, which is somewhere down in here, and it could be that coolant flange with the thermostat that needs to be replaced. It could be the crack pipe, the water pipe in there. It could just be a loose hose clamp. But that is gonna need to get diagnosed before I get this thing roadworthy, and before I put the supercharger in this lovely spot where it is waiting to go. So we'll get on this. We'll make it happen. So yes, indeed, while we have been doing the supercharger installation project, which is taking freaking forever, because we keep running into other stuff we have to fix along the way. So this lovely spot is waiting for the supercharger. But while we were getting to this, we needed to replace the motor mount. So there's a motor mount in the front here, there's a motor mount back here, and there's another back there under that horrible mess. And in the process, we discovered that there's a small coolant leak, and while we had the motor jacked up, it was just dripping out. So we're going to use one of these pressure kits with a universal adapter here. Actually, it's a special adapter for Volkswagen. We're going to put some pressure in the system and see if we can spot where the leak is coming from so we can properly address that issue. So we've got the adapter on, and just gonna start gentle with like 5 psi. We got 5 pounds of pressure in there, and let's see if we see any leaks coming from under the car. Previously we were seeing a leak emerge down here. Not seeing anything yet, so maybe apply a little more pressure. I do see a rag that fell down there, though. That's lovely and helpful. All right, a little more pressure. Now these operate under 13 psi pressure nominally. At least that's what the pressure cap has to hold. If it doesn't hold 13 psi, then it's considered bad. So we'll go ahead and put it up to 13 psi. So there we get 13. And looking for leaks. So let's see. I don't hear any hissing. Do we see any dripping? Don't see anything. So that's both good and kind of concerning. I'm going to leave it under pressure for a little while and see if the leak emerges slowly over time. So there's a couple of possibilities. First of all, while we have the motor jacked up to do the motor mounts, a bunch of the coolant stuff is under stress and pressure and being bent in weird ways. So it's possible that like the coolant pipe that runs across and connects down inside there to the heat exchanger, that might have been pressing against something at a weird angle, and maybe it was pulling back on you know, one of the O-rings, and so it was allowing a little bit of coolant to come out past the O-ring. That's possible, and it's possible that if that's the case, then putting the motor back in the right position, put everything back under the right amount of stress, and there isn't a leak However, it's also possible that I broke whatever that was by moving the motor around. And the first time I warm the car all the way up to temperature, it's gonna spew everywhere. So I'd like to figure out where it might leak from first, replace that part proactively, and then not be stranded with a giant coolant leak on the road, because that's a bummer. So we'll keep looking, gonna keep some pressure on this, keep an eye out for pressure drop, and see what happens.
2 hours later.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back. See you very soon.
See you soon.
Tune in again, and make sure, if this is at least a little bit entertaining for you, hit like, subscribe, share it. If you're a Corrado owner, hey, the more the merrier. We share in our misery, right? All right. See ya. God bless. Bye-bye.